Oh.
No?
Well.
But what's this? I just want to pull a plug. I'm excited.
All right, it's time to dyno the Miata. We're here at the Iron Gate Motor Plaza. We're at Fluid MotorUnion, and we're gonna see what this baby does on the dyno before we start doing any performance mods. Do we got any guesses on what this baby's gonna do?
70 horsepower.
I got 96.
96?
I got 96.
I don't know, I drove it here. I'm gonna say like under 50.
Come on in, guys. Hello. Make yourself at home.
Wow.
This is Fluid Motor Dynamics, waiting on the dyno. Over there, it flooded. It heard the Miata was coming and got wet.
Jimmy, we can't put that stuff on camera.
Yes, you can.
But the tongue thing, it would have been perfect if you wouldn't have done the tongue.
You can just cut.
Like that flake? Maybe you should have painted the Tesla like this.
Paint the Tesla?
Yeah.
You didn't wrap the Tesla?
No, paint it like this.
Paint it like this?
Yeah, I think it'd be a good decision.
I'll consider it.
Okay. This is for the Miata. This is what we should do on the Miata.
You think so?
What do you guys think? Should we do this paint job on the Miata?
Tesla. Tesla for sure.
I want to get your opinion on what you think the engine, where we're at with it. It has 77,000 miles on it. We're kind of figuring out if we want to do a turbo or if we want to K-swap it. So we're kind of, back and forth. And I guess, if the engine's good and it's solid, there's a weird ticking that's going on that we've been noticing.
Like I said, we probably need to adjust valves on it. I don't know the motor, so I don't know if we can do that on that car, but.
And my business partner Greg had quite a few Miatas. He said that's pretty normal of that ticking noise.
Yeah,
Miatas.
more or less, as long as it's not like a knocking noise. But they're pretty robust, believe it or not.
Yeah.
And I've seen like thrown through the ringer, especially like some of that racing stuff. So
I'd love to get your opinion after the dyno. If we,
like I said, this thing, if it's in good shape, we should be, if you're anywhere in the teens, like 110 to, like I said, 120, that's good. If you're above 120, that's really good. Below that, then you gotta start thinking, is this motor tired? You know what I mean?
Okay.
But we'll know, like, just kind of from that. All right, cool. It takes a little minute to like back in here, but I'm gonna start rolling it in, and yeah, any questions about anything going on, just ask.
I'm excited. Forced induction right there.
Not really.
We mean this isn't forced induction?
It's like driving down the road. Is that forced induction?
Yeah.
No.
You're forcing the air by driving.
No.
No?
No.
But what's this? That's the turbo, right?
That's a fan.
Me just making sure it's strapped down right. The car's been sitting running for a while, so like usually we let it cool down between runs.
Yeah.
Like typically, if a car's dead cold, it's not gonna make its most power. It's kind of gotta warm up. All the fluid's gotta get a little warm. And then if you put the fans back on it, let it cool down after it's warmed up, you know, just the engine, the intake temps.
Okay.
Then you'll see like its highest numbers. So it's kind of a process for us to like know where the car's at. But right now, it'll dyno, but it might be low because I got to just see where it's at. Is it climbing right? You know, there's a few things I got to do. So you'll see a number, but it doesn't mean that's where we're going to be at. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It sounds good. I mean, running wise, like you can hear it. I've heard a lot of these motors in a lot of different shapes and, you know, really pristine and just ratted to hell. This thing actually sounds pretty nice. Like you can hear how the motor's running. Even that little tick, I only picked up on it like once or twice.
Yeah.
So could be a lifter up top, something like that, but it doesn't sound like it's anything lower end. And just even the smoothness of it running, like it seems like it's in good shape, you know?
What's the highest horsepower NA that you've had through here?
So we've had like ones with like ITBs and stuff like that. But those things, like the pistons were different, you know what I mean? Like different camshafts, like everything was set up for it. So even then though, like you're not hitting 200 horse NA. You know, these aren't Hondas, you know, they're not the K-Series engines. Like
so let's K-Series.
Like for NA power, I'd say so. Probably about cool down, so I'm gonna do some runs. What we'll do is I'll probably do a few runs till it peaks. And I'll be watching it, and once it peaks, then we'll let it cool down, and then we'll do another set of runs. And between those two, we'll see our peak numbers. But depending, this car, you know, it might peak after 3 runs, it might peak after 8 or 9 runs. Like, I'll just keep going until the number stops climbing. Do you know what I mean? So. These things are usually pretty consistent, like once you get them going. So I think this is the area we'll be in.
Right around 80.
I think we can get maybe like an 82, something like that. Let it cool down long enough, but we'll probably be in this area. Now that all the variables are out, you know, the looseness, I'm making sure I'm on the throttle right, I'm not kicking down, like this is kind of where we'll be.
Well, we got to figure out how to triple that.
Consistent.
What did it peak at?
80.5. So 80.5 is the number right now. You guys didn't open the air filter or anything like that, check anything since you got it, did you?
We hadn't done anything to it.
I'm gonna check it out real quick. That looks good. I just want to pull a plug, make sure that nothing obvious we're leaving, you know what I mean? If they're clean and the filter's clean, then that's where we're at, you know? They're good plugs. They're old though.
They're old?
They're old.
So they didn't replace them.
Like they're supposed to be 100,000 mile plugs, but you could see from like the rust on them that at some point like water was sitting there and whatnot, and then they look like they're running okay, but that gap kind of widened up for where it should be.
Yeah.
So it is, you could run a wider gap on these because there's not a whole lot of cylinder pressure, but once it starts widening up, you might, you know, like I said, with this thing, like if you're looking for like 1 or 2 horsepower, you know, things like this do make a difference. So I might just like drop a set of plugs in here and just for the heck of it, you know, then we'll know. But I doubt it's going to do much because these things are like, they're good plugs regardless. They just, there's signs that they're tired. You know, it's not like, I wouldn't say that's bad, but could we be losing a horsepower or so? Like, it's worth trying. So let me throw a set in. I think I got one.
Can the gap move?
Yeah, it'll wear out just from the strikes, you know. So, like this one, like it should be 44 somewhere around there, but like we're way open, so that it's just harder for the spark to bridge the gap. Okay. So it'll still do it because, like I said, there's not a lot of cylinder pressure in this thing. It's not like making a lot of power, so it'll still bridge it. But if you had a tighter gap, you might pick up half horsepower. You know, it's worth trying. I got them laying around. I'll throw them in. We'll see what they do, and I can at least clean these up and re-gap them, so that way, but we'll know like what it'll do with fresh plugs. They didn't look like they were running bad. It just kind of looked like, could we be losing up, horsepower or so here? Right. It was worth trying, but. Yeah. So yeah, I cleaned to re-gap those, so I'll just drop those back in here. But yeah, nice. I think 80.5 is going to be our.
That's our max. That was the first run too.
Yeah. Sometimes it goes that way, We're putting down 80 to the wheels, which. What are these rated? 126 with a 20% drivetrain loss. You're right about there. You know what I mean? So, like I said, typically though the manuals have a little less drivetrain loss. You're seeing like 15 to 12%. There isn't much to those cars. And then, like I said, a lot of the spec stuff they've got. They're switching out wheel bearings to try to get. This brand of wheel bearing has less drag, so it'll be more And I've had people come in here and test that stuff. You know what I mean? And those cars, when they're all, and of course they're not running the catalytic converter, they've got a different air filter, but they're usually over the 100 horsepower mark on those cars. But like, that's maxing those things out, you know what I mean? Like, there's nothing more,
That's cool, man. I just wanted to see where we're at. Now we know we got lots of work to do. We'll bring it back and see where
it's healthy though. It's a healthy 80 horsepower. Like, it sounds good. It's getting up there. It just sounds a little, I wouldn't say tired, but it just sounds like, this is all it could do. Yeah, let's get you unstrapped and out of here. But
I haven't drank in 17 days.
Yeah.
I've been drinking like 4 days.
No drinks for you. Let's have a liquid lunch.
Stop being a bad influence, Jimmy.
I'm not expecting him to say yes, but if he did, it would be fun, I think Will has good potential. He can work good for us.
Thanks, Jimmy.
All right.
My kids.
What?
oh yeah, those suck.
Why are you breaking shit, Jose?